Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Champions League. We have an exciting matchup in Leg 6, Pool A between Allianz Vero Volley MILANO, who you can see walking into the locker rooms right now, and they're taking on VakifBank of Istanbul. There they are. My name's Key Michael. I'm excited to be your host for today's matchup because it's going to be an important one. This is the Allianz Cloud Arena in Monza. These two teams are facing off for the second time this season, and there is a lot at stake. They're looking calm, looking relaxed as they're walking into the building. But the VakifBank fans and players know better than anyone what is on the line here. First place in the pool right now belongs to Milan. Could it be VakifBank's to grab back? That is the question. Well, in the head-to-head between these two teams, VakifBank has come out on top 4 times to 1.
I'm excited. Every time we get to see each other again, it's really nice. And it's always fun playing against people that you know and have played with, but I'm sure it'll be a great game.
Yeah, of course, we're super excited for the match today. The first match at home, we couldn't beat them. So we want to write another history here in Milano. But of course, we know that they are a really strong team. We just watched the last match that they play in the Italian league against Scandici. They are playing really stable. They have strong players that we know them very well. But the most important for us is our attitude today. We know that we are not playing at home. As I said, Milano is a really strong team. They are showing this power during this season. But also we are creating a lot of good things this season, and we want to come here today and have a good match.
Some important words there from a couple of the players. Karabajima of Milan. She actually played in VakifBank recently, so she'll know better than anyone how to beat that team as her team gets ready. And a few familiar faces in the locker room. Poligonu and Brenda Castillo, 2 of the best in the world. But this team is absolutely stacked in so many areas. Alessia Oro, one of the best setters in the world. Just something for everyone on this team. And again, Gabby said it the best there. This team has been playing at a really stable and high level throughout the Italian league. They're riding a 16-game winning streak. They've tasted pretty much nothing but victory so far this season, both in Champions League and also in the regular Italian league. So this is what you're seeing in the locker room right now, a team that's calm, relaxed, that's done their homework, that has the confidence of coming into this match just really prepared and really ready to bring it.
O zaman şunu yapman lazım bana.
Bitti.
Taking on VakifBank. You just saw the coin toss happening moments ago, and it has all come down to this. Well, as the standings currently sit, Milan remaining undefeated in the pool, 5 wins on the board. VakifBank fell only to their opponent today so far in the competition. They've got 4 wins otherwise, leaving them in 2nd position. As you can see here, there's the layout of how it's happened. Milan 5 wins from 5. VakifBank just searching for their 5th. Well, good news for VakifBank at the moment is there's still hope of advancing to the next round, even if they don't win this match, by being one of the 3 best-ranked 2nd place finishers after this round of pool play. This is the last match of this round for this pool. However, knowing this team, they're not going to want to leave their fate up to chance. If you know VakifBank, they are one of the best and have been. They are the reigning champions of this league, of this competition. Well, for Milan, as we mentioned, they've been having a fantastic season so far, both in league and in Champions League. They've only lost a couple of matches to the top dogs of Conegliano in the first part of the season, as well as in the Super Cup to that same team. But they've gone 15 from 16 in this league, 5 from 5 in Champions, and they've had a lot of success so far. And a lot of that has to do with one name, Paola Igonu. There she is. She raised the trophy with Conegliano in 2021, with VakifBank last year in 2023, and she's certainly making a case for herself to earn the title wearing 3 different jerseys. Can you imagine going down in history? Certainly be the first player to do that. Igonu, well, she's the best in not only attacks for her team, but also outblocks the middles and doubles the aces of the next closest player. Milan have a wealth of talent on display tonight, though, not just in their opposite position. They've got this crafty and clever setter in Alessia Oro. They've got American Dana Retke, who's dominant both on offense and in defense at the net, and some other internationals making a big impact. Arnika Daldrop with a whip of an arm. Of course, French outside hitter Helena Cazot also finds a way to score pretty much no matter what the situation is. Coach Marco Gasperi, there he is, head coach of Milan. He said before the match, we're approaching this challenge with confidence. However, we are aware that in front of us, we're going to have a team accustomed to this type of match. He's talking about VakifBank, the winners of the last 2 editions of Champions League, with Giovanni Budetti at the helm. They have experience in this kind of game, and they're going to be wanting revenge after that first leg. So Coach Gasperi said it's going to be essential for his team to try and consolidate that first place. They're entering with confidence. VakifBank, well, incredibly, and you don't say this very often about VakifBank, they are the underdogs in this match. They've won 8 titles. They have an 80% win rate in this competition. But this is not a situation they find themselves in very often. They have been having success in the domestic Turkish league. They fell recently only to Eczacıbaşı, but that was in 5 sets. Well, the last time these 2 teams met, Igonu was able to put up 21 points. She was the top scorer for VakifBank there. Or excuse me, that's going to be confusing. I'm going to be saying that back and forth a few times. She was the top scorer for Milan. The top scorer for VakifBank was American Jordan Thompson. She had 14 points. But what made Milan so dominant, in my opinion, was that there also were 2 other players, Dana Retke and Nika Daldrop, that were also in double-digit points. Whereas if you look on VakifBank's side, they found themselves relying really heavily on their opposite. No other player was able to really score more than 7 points, which is an incredible number if you think about the history of this team and how dominant they've been over the years. VakifBank really, they struggled a little bit in receive, especially in that 3rd set where the positive efficiency was down to 40%, not the kind of numbers that VakifBank is used to seeing. Milan, on the other hand, they had a set match high of almost 80% passing efficiency in that first set. So that's when they set the standard, they set the tone for how they were going to play the rest of the match. It really paved the way for Oro to use the middles and all the other weapons that she has throughout the match. So Milano, they ended up with 10 blocks compared to VakifBank's only 2. And Igonu also contributed 4 cheeky aces for her side, while no one else in the gym had a single ace. So I'm looking forward to her serve today, if she's going to bring that same heat that she brought just a few weeks ago when these teams met for the first time in this season, in this competition. Well, that most recent match, the Italian side won 3-0. That match was on November 29th, and it was actually held in Turkey. So not only will Milan have that win under their belts, but they're also getting the home team advantage tonight. So they're going to have the confidence of a team that knows what they're doing, but is also in their home gym. So they've got their crowd, and that's something Alessia Oro mentioned before the match. She said it's going to be really balanced. It's going to be exciting. They're going to try and put something different on the pitch compared to the first leg, but I know our fans are going to show out and they are going to show up, and we want to win in front of them. So that's going to be important for this team right here. And you've got a few experienced players. You've got a lot of just dynamic power on that team throughout all the different areas on the court. VakifBank, they might be a little bit one-sided at times, which has sometimes been the criticism of teams that have Polo Gonu on them. But it seems to be that Milan has found a solution for that, and VakifBank now they're the ones struggling to find that all-around team play. They're heavily relying on Thompson in the offense. Well, it's not a national anthem, but it's the closest thing to it, and it gives me goosebumps every single time. I've played in this league, this competition. I can tell you it is the highest honor for a volleyball professional player to play in the Champions League, and these two teams are two of the absolute best to do it. Two contenders to potentially raise the trophy in a couple of months' time. So I am excited to bring the starters to you very shortly. I have a feeling it's going to be an incredible match. But first, let's meet the referees. Dobromir Dobrev of Bulgaria will be the first referee. And Vlastimil Kovar of the Czech Republic will be aiding him as the second referee position. VakifBank, led by Giovanni Guidetti. He's been at the helm since 2008. VakifBank in the underdog position, an unfamiliar space for them, but they are certainly ready to bring it, I have no doubts. Starting out strong, Ali Franti, outside hitter of the USA. He played in Italy in Casamaggiore last season, now here with VakifBank. Setter, Cansu Ojbe, Olympic player with Turkey in 2021. Chako Bogu of the USA, who already has an Olympic gold medal under her belt. Gabi from Brazil in the other outside hitting position. She's been with VakifBank since 2019. Sarah Gunesh, fan favorite in terms of middle blockers throughout the world. And of course, Jordan Thompson, top scorer of the last match. She'll be there in the opposite position. She's a USA Olympic medalist as well. And rounding it out, we can't forget about our lovely liberos. Ayça Ayçak in the libero jersey for the Turkish side. Well, Milan, they have everything to gain by this win. Let's see if they can do it. Alessia Oro, of course, will be leading the charge from the setting position. The Italian has been with Milan for 4 seasons now. Miriam Silla in the outside hitting spot, Italian. Formerly with Conegliano. Paola Gonu. We have one of the best opposites in the world on court today. Nika Daldrop, former VakifBank player. In fact, she and Paola Gonu both know VakifBank intimately. Daldrop out of the Netherlands, wearing the number 19 outside hitter. Dana Retke of the USA snuck in there as well, middle blocker, standing at 2 meters and 4. And Laura Heidemann, number 5, the Belgian middle blocker, will be in that other center spot. The libero, well, Brenda Castillo gets that nod. And Marco Gasperi, all smiles in his 4th season with Milan. And as Jordan Thompson returns to her former gym, gets the flowers as is customary in Italy. She played last season in Milan. Giovanni Guidetti at the helm for VakifBank. As mentioned, he's been there since 2008, previously coaching in Italy, of course, as an Italian himself, going back to the motherland. Well, wherever you are, I hope you're ready for a long one, because I have a feeling neither of these two teams are going to go down easily. Surely Giovanni has some new tricks up his sleeve after last time. Here we go. Champions League final match of Pool A. VakifBank on the right in the black, taking on Milan on the left in the pink. First shots fired by Paola Egonu, doesn't land. It's gonna have to be a high ball to the outside. Gabby is tight, she is blocked, but that's saved. Going again with a little tip. Chance for Milan through the middle, quick to Retke, doesn't go. Egonu again, deja vu. This is one of the longer rallies I've seen for a starting point in a long time, but if it's indicative of how this match is gonna play out, we're in for a good one. Well, the point's been given to VakifBank. It looks as if we might have a challenge immediately. Marco Gasperi deciding he didn't like the look of that point. And he is not willing to give up anything for free. Well, tension's running high, certainly, especially for VakifBank. There is a lot on the line here for Vakif. So here's the question, was there a touch? Absolutely no touch given. Great challenge, point returned to Milan. And they are in fact the earners of the first point. Back to serve, Oro. Quick through the middle, great establishment. Again, it's Egonu trying to go middle back, Franti underneath it. Thompson goes through the block. Egonu again is relied on. Oh, what a roller. Stays in play. Gabby on the outside. Deep to the corner. Castillo all over it. Great cover. Another opportunity for Egonu. Still the ball is not down. That is scrappy play out of VakifBank. From the pipe, and eventually Daldorop able to get it done. Well, I can't remember the last time in recent history that Egonu has had 3, 4, 5 swings in a row and not been able to score. But VakifBank are digging deep. They are gritty tonight. There's another look at that play. Egonu having to try every trick in her toolbox. Free ball. Setters out, high set from Castillo behind. Silla has a rip, that's Doug. Another chance for Gabby on the outside, can't get it through, and Milan is looking good to start. Milan starting with some pretty tough serving that's really causing a ruckus on VakifBank's side. There's a lot of out-of-system setting happening. Gabby with the roundhouse. Finally, Jordan Thompson stops the bleeding. Well, we mentioned Thompson as a big contributor in the last match. VakifBank's gonna have to find someone else, something else to contribute in the offense. Egonu, the go-to again. Beautiful jump set from behind. Love that. Aicha Aikac, the 27-year-old libero, setting up some butter for her opposite. You love to see the liberos jumping in the setter spot. Gabby from the end line gets a tight pass, still saved. Gonu again on the right side, goes deeper, and again, and the defense is all over it. They have read the scouting report on Igonu 10 times over. Here comes the freebie, gets Thompson on the floor. Franti on the outside, swings into hands. That's not coming back. Pipe, this time Gabby is blocked, and again, going for it, Franti turns down the line, and Igonu says, not in my house. Well, Igonu, one of those players you get frustrated with, and you can see it a little bit there on Jansu's face because she's delivering a little bit of everything. She's all over it in the offense, and now getting her defense firing as well. Silla feeling the crowd energy. Down the line to Franti, out of system again. Thompson goes off the hands. Easy pickup for Castillo to Ratke. It's fast, but she's dug. Here comes Franti again. The defense. Heavy action on VakifBank's side, trying to keep things alive. But the American middle blocker denying action at the net. Once and on the cover, twice just takes things into her own hands. That's a high-level middle action. Don't have to wait to take the free ball. Don't have to wait to get set. Hey, just get that overpass. It's all you. And another huge block. Dana Retke. She has come to play. Taking one step, pretty much commit blocking on Sarah Gunesh there. Knowing that the outside hitters have been struggling to find their way past, she just takes that risk. Good step in again by Aikac. Big swing from Igonu. That one doesn't land. Thompson sneaks it through. A couple more touches, but it's not enough. Thompson, excuse me. Again, the one to score for VakifBank. They're really struggling to find other areas. And you've seen it play out in these last few points pretty clearly. The middles tried to have a go on the outside, the pipe. The serving isn't on apparently either. Thompson really the only one carrying the slack for VakifBank at the moment. And this is an unusual situation if you've been following VakifBank for the last few years. Again, they're reigning champions of Champions League, defending champions last 2 years in a row. You wouldn't know it by looking at the first few points of this set, but having said that, a couple of secret weapons. One of them, Chiako Bogut, Olympic gold medalist. Certainly not a team you can count out, ever. Here we go then, Thompson from the end line. Targeting Silla, that's out of system again. Igonu finds the slice. And it's the first kill for Igonu in the match. She hasn't had her usual success, but she does take a while to heat up sometimes. Watch her though, once she's hot, there is very little you can do to slow her down. Igonu, 25-year-olds who actually played in VakifBank last season. Good response there from the ladies in black. Way out of system, Gabby with the bump set. Franti stepping in a couple of feet inside of her comfortable zone there near the antenna. Does well to get around the block, keeping that gap to 3. Back to serve, tough one. Oro from her knees, and there's the error VakifBank were looking for. Daldarop on the outside, swinging high, looks for fingertips. but they are not given, and this is what VakifBank's going to be trying to do now. Aggressive from the serve line, just like that. Get a couple of bodies on the floor, get some movement at the net, make Oro take some steps forward or backwards. And another one, ace serve, Ali Franti. Well, Ali Franti, American outside hitter. First season in VakifBank. Played last year in Kazamajor. Before that, Chieri played in Poland, France, Slovenia. Graduated out of Penn State in 2018. Working her way up the USA national team with ace serves like that one. Herman through the middle. Milan as well. What I like about Oro's play is even when she doesn't have a perfect ball in, she's going to try and find the middles because she knows you can't rely heavily on just Egonu on the outside. And it's one of my favorite things to watch out for. If you're watching a high-level game like this, have a look at the setters. What is the distribution like? Who is their go-to hitter? What's the hot hand? How are they tricking the middle blockers on the other side into thinking they'll go one way and then go the other? That's all those little intricacies of the game that are so fun to watch. Chaco Bogu from the line. Great ball in for Milan. Allows the middle to be run. Gabby with the push. Dialed it up. Tries to get under it. But sneaky Brazilian Gabby. Oh, we haven't spoken much about her, but if you're a volleyball fan, you know the name. 29-year-old. Only played in Brazil before heading to VakifBank in 2019. Bogu again. Trying to change it up there. Another high-level serving tactic. Go deep and then go short. Go to the left and then go right. Or find a player that you're really dialed in on and just force them to touch that ball every single time. So many different strategies when you're at the end line. Herman drops it short on Gabby. Thompson into a big block, and there's one strategy for you. Get Gabby out of the offense. The blockers knew exactly where that ball was going. You see Retke moving almost before the set is even gone. Perfectly timed block, and that is one thing leading to another, leading to another. Excellent execution. Herman this time deep on Franti. Allows Gabby to get in the game, stabbing defense. Dialed it up again, keeping the ball in play. Egonu is now in it from the back court, but the block of VakifBank starts to heat up. Well, let's not forget Sarah Gunesh at the front row. She was the best middle blocker of the Club World Championships 3 years in a row. Gets a touch there and then moves in the right direction. She's late, having taken one step to the right, then just closes where she gets to. An error off. Egonu gets VakifBank tied up again. And that's exactly the reason you never count out a team like VakifBank. Doing better in the attacking points and have tied themselves up after being down about 4 or 5 points earlier on. Swing wide from Silla, and for the first time in the match, VakifBank have the lead. They'll grab a timeout.
Due cose bisogna che facciamo attenzione. La prima, they are serving so aggressive, a lot of time deep. So if we start there, we'll be dangerous with the setter, with Frantitu. Okay, so sometimes it matters make one step back and take the ball a little bit off. Ok, seconda cosa, i colpi alti vanno benissimo, non è un problema se c'è un errore, però la copertura deve essere più presente perché dobbiamo rischiare qualcosina se la ricezione è staccata. Okay? Dai,
Well, most of that in English for you to understand. Last couple of things there, just saying, hey, I'm liking the look of these high swings, going for the fingertips. I like that. He's not too worried about the errors. especially if his team is swinging high. Says, what I need to know, though, is that my team's going to cover. I need everyone really present and focused in that cover. Make sure your hitters feel that confidence, and they can just swing for the walls. Great swing. Well, taking a page out of Gaspari's book, swinging high, swinging hard, but recognizing there wasn't much of a block there. It was 1.5 at best. Gunesh staying in with Retke, and you can see that space opening up for Silla. She'll take that all day long. High out of system. Thompson to drop it. Oh, great pickup, Oro. And that gives a second opportunity to Aganu, who likes the look of a touch on that. She's going up against her former teammates. Oro all over the defense, making something happen, but Aganu hit so high in that instance. We did already have one challenge, which was correct. So 2 challenges still remain for Gaspari. That ball way over the top of the blockers. And that's the blessing and the curse if you're Paula Aganu. She has the ability to swing absolutely out of the gym. She is jumping higher than most athletes will ever in their lives. Gabby from the end line. Gets herself an overpass. Hearing the whistle blown, but what was it for? Perhaps out of system. Looked like a little bit of confusion there. Going again. Aganu trying to run around the backside. They really want to make sure Aganu's able to hit from that right side, and that's what that last point was lost because of. So she's on the right side, but has to kind of work her way through the defensive players, the receiving players, to get to that right side. Takes a little bit of finesse. The outside, dialed it up to swing, touch, off the block. Not enough to keep it in play. Gunesh again exerting some dominance at the net. Makes some couple of good moves there, and watch her hands as she's finishing. Those hands, the entire palm is facing into the court. She's sort of pushing that ball as it contacts her back to the middle back. Great swing. Dialed it up, down the line. Gets a nice wide set there from Oro, and she can kind of just slice it as she sees Thompson's hands, turns past them down the line with just that little movement of the shoulder. Retke finds Gabby, great ball in. Thompson allowed to swing, but the defense is good. Held it up, pass to send to Freebie. Setters out, gonna be a bump set from the libero. Thompson again and sneaks it under. Jordan Thompson, the 26-year-old, who, as we mentioned, we know she played in Milano last year, but before that in Eczacıbaşı, in Fenerbahce, and graduated from Cincinnati University 2019. Looks for that deep serve. Again, Coach Gaspari mentioning that that's what VakifBank were really working on, trying to push the receivers deep. But again, those errors can creep in. We got 3 errors for VakifBank from the service line so far. Now keep in mind, Aganu 4 aces last time these two teams played. Certainly plenty left up her sleeve. Franti goes for the end line, and she gets it. 2 ace serves already. A beautiful execution of that deep dropping serve. Finds the end line. and forces a timeout.
Star tranquilli e che ne usciamo, ma dobbiamo fare uno switch su due cose. Due. La prima è la situazione di ricezione. Stanno battendo bene loro, però stanno battendo tanto profondo. Questa è l'unica cosa, ma lo stanno facendo bene, quindi non potremo avere tutte le perfette in testa ad Alessia. Di conseguenza il lavoro sulla palla alta, perché stiamo giocando e difendendo tantissimo. Un'altra cosa, il JP con la palla corta, fermatevi prima che tirasse in extra rotazione, ci pensa avanti.
Well, just a couple of things for his team to pay attention to. The first one, VakifBank serving really aggressive and deep. So he's saying, hey, look, we need to be on that and don't try and put that ball right on the head of our setter. Let's work in out of system. Let's just get that ball up and then work on that out of system attack. Second thing, look out for the extra rotation of Jordan Thompson's arm, especially if she dies. Ball dies a little inside. Well, good timeout called, forcing Franti to think one extra second about it. She's still going for that same zone. Plenty of float on that serve. 2-point lead for VakifBank. Can they keep it? Free ball opportunity. Castillo all over it. Igonu with the swing goes just wide. And VakifBank capitalizing on those errors point after point. They give a free ball. Now, it's not often that you'll see Milan make errors on a free ball, any high-level team, to be completely honest. A free ball is almost like a given point, and you do not see it very often go awry, especially if it's Paola Igonu. She's looking at her team now saying, hey, don't worry about it. We're moving on. Quick change made. Kazot into the lineup for the reception, and that is exactly why Igonu says, don't worry, no stress, I've got the next one. Oro knows her well enough now to feed that ball right up to her. The inside swing finds the sideline. Beautifully done. Franti on the reception. To the outside, Gabby. Tip on VakifBank's side, still in play. Franti looking for a faster ball than is delivered. And that'll give Milan another extra point in the right direction. One-point deficit for Milan. Gabby able to put something into motion there as a quick change on VakifBank's side. New setter into the mix. Sarah van Allen out of the Netherlands, the 23-year-old finds her way onto court. And that change reversed immediately just to keep the setter in the backcourt. VakifBank up by 2. Silla underneath it, great ball in, and Igonu able to rip. Ball out of bounds. Point goes to VakifBank. Now that's a few points we've seen this match that have been fed up to Igonu. She's had that wide open space down the line there, just over-rotated ever so slightly at the end. Silla on the outside, rolls it off the fingertips. High ball to Gabby. She goes deep to the corner for Castillo. Again, it's Silla on the outside, tight into the hands. And VakifBank keep it in play. And it's been a complete change of events since the beginning of this set. It looked like Milan had everything in their control. VakifBank has certainly changed the game. Alessio Oro at the line, 25-year-old Italian setter. Thompson looking to push into the hands, but Recchi and Silla reading that like a book. Starts with a tough serve down the line, gets Gabby moving, and a couple of steps, and then Silla just diving in with the hands. Timeout, VakifBank.
You want to play too cold soon, eh? Not sharp. Right. Good job. You can show inside and probably she will serve again on your left. Show and come back. Okay? No problem. Hey, we try to make one cover more. One side out. Here we go. Higher. Let's go. Vaki.
Giovanni Guidetti, one of the most experienced coaches in the game, was the head coach of Germany, then the Netherlands, then Turkey, and he's now recently joined the head of Serbia. Oro finds the libero. It's an out-of-system play. Fast push back from Jansu to her opposite. All the way from the left side of court. Does a great job of giving some width to that ball. Kaza pops the ball up. Recchi into a big stuff block. Sarah Gunesh paying attention, reading the situation. The 24-year-old standing at 198 centimeters. Didn't have to do much, just throws those hands in the right direction. He's going up against the 2 meters and 4, Dana Recchi, and has the final say. Set point, VakifBank. Franti on the outside, rolls it from the pipe. Comes Kazot, and it is long, and that will give VakifBank their first set of the match. Here's how it was done. The pipe, 2 blockers up, just a little bit of space there for Kazot. Can't find the end line, and VakifBank will be happy with that result. Coming back from down 6-2 in the early stages of the set. Well, here's a look at how it was done. Pretty similar in the attacks. One more block for Milan, but look at the aces from VakifBank. 2 aces to none. Really aggressive in their serve. As well, those errors, 8-11. Well, VakifBank came to Milan with 1 job to do, and they're 1/3 of the way there. 1 set in the bag. Now I'm looking at some of those stats we just saw. Everything looking pretty even, Stevens, but 11 errors on Milan's side. So that just means 11 points were handed to VakifBank on a platter. Now when you're playing to 25, that's almost half the set right there. So certainly a few of them coming from the end line, a lot of errors in the attack. Yes, Coach Gaspari is giving his team the green light to swing high and hard and look for the block. But there are certain moments when you gotta read the situation, find different ways to score. So maybe swing off the side of the block, maybe those tips and rolls, maybe looking for ways to go over in 2, use the setter maybe to throw VakifBank off the scent. Well, meanwhile, the fans enjoying high-level volleyball at its finest. You all know, probably as well as I do, that Italy one of the best places not only to play volleyball, but for the fans. There is something about volleyball in Italy. Have a look at it. They have come out in absolute droves to support their team all the way up into the nosebleeds. And that is something really, really special about playing in Italy. These players know it. Jordan Thompson knows it. Having played here last season, coming back, being in an old gym, there's something also emotional about that feeling. You know, she's talking a little trash through the net to her American teammates. All in love, of course. The world of volleyball gets smaller and smaller. The longer you play, the more people you know, the more teammates you've had, the more fans you've met, the more coaches you've worked with. We love it. Here we go. Set number 2 underway. Milan now on the right side. And Alessia Oro with the first serve. Gabby to swing. Great cover. And VakifBank get the first points on the board, and they deserve it this time. No challenge coming. If you remember back in set number 1, the very first point was challenged. But even from out of system, there's a clever play. Thompson not in a good position to swing. Just find something, and an excellent serve. Gabby gets her first on the board. Goes again, same thing as deep. Silla tries to swing, can't find the floor. Back to Thompson, past the block on the inside. VakifBank have found their groove. Now a 3-0 lead for Vakif. Oh, great dig as well. Thompson doing it all. Front court, back court, offense, defense. And that is got to be worth double when you can convert a defense. Not only is it a defense on Paola Gono, it's your opposite doing the defense. She then turns around to get the point. That is the beauty of high-level volleyball right there. Dropping it short this time is Gabby. And another free point. Question that time. Again, I think it's being called out of rotation. Have to go back and watch slow motion, but timeout called.
So we need to change something. We need to change something. Don't wait the service. Be aggressive with spike. They are watching us, so every time we will have 2 blocks. Or we work high, or we can also correct. Working some tips, working with the hands. Watch out with the high ball. They are working high on our platform. So we need to arrive and be close and aggressive inside. Don't stop playing, there's no problem.
Great advice there from Gasperi. He's basically saying exactly what we talked about earlier, finding ways to score. So there have been a few too many errors in the first set. And yes, VakifBank is putting a lot of pressure from the service line, but they got to find ways to score out of system on that high ball. What can they do differently? Let's have a look at Silla. She's got a tip there, gets 2 players on the floor. And that's the out-of-system play. That Gasperi likes to see. Extra celebration there because his team's done exactly what he's asked. There's the tip. Watch this from Silla. She's not in a great position. She gets setter and outside hitter running in for it. So the only person left to swing is Thompson. 2 blockers are up. She goes wide. Thompson again, and a great defense from Silla. Reganu. Soft down the line. Pipe from Gabby, roundhouse swing, comes back over. This time it's Franti to tip. She's got the ball coming back her side from Igonu. Another good defense, this time from Jansu, and the block. Gunesh could not slow down the swing at the net on the final instance. How's that defense? Jansu up there. Gunesh doing her best, but Milan coming back in. Woo! How's that for a swing, Gunesh? Change on the court. Kara Bajema gets some space to swing on the outside. She's been watching on from the sidelines for the last set. Great defense from Castillo. And then Bajema sneaking in there over the blockers. There's the change the coach was looking for. A 25-year-old American outside hitter will do. Gunesh has been with VakifBank since 2017. Actually began with the second team. Another one coming out of Bajema. Great change by Gaspari already. She's got fresh legs hanging up there in the air. Almost difficult timing for the blockers because she's almost on her way down when she's swinging. Retke can't keep the streak going. Vakif take another freebie. And look at the service error so far, 5-4. Thompson goes line. Targets her American counterpart. Big swing on the right side in response. Igonu. Haven't seen the best of her yet. You can be assured there is much more in the tank. Waits patiently on the sideline, gets an inside set. Again, able to go over the block and find the end line. Quick offense through the middle. Bajema swings and blocked. Joust at the net. Herman tries to get past the setter, Jansu, in the front court. It's that first block, and then she is up. That's something you've always got to pay attention to as a middle blocker. Can you swing on that instance, or should you just move the ball with two hands quickly to the floor? We're looking at 4 blocks apiece right now for each team. Excellent serve. Ali Franti is on a mission from the end line. 3rd ace serve of the match. She has been dominant in that position. This time going straight down at Bajema. Again, they'll know each other well with the national team. Franti, the 27-year-old. Jansu pops it back again to Thompson. Swing from Igonu, gets a touch in the backcourt, and that'll do. Milan not going quietly. Oro having to step in to take it, leaving Castillo on the set. And Igonu, even wide and high, finds a way to frustrate her opponents. Franti with a good ball in. Outside swing is dug. Silla with 2 hands. That gets Thompson touching the first. Here comes Franti with a big rip. Somehow that ball did not touch the floor. Comes again, this time from Gabby. And VakifBank having to earn every single point of late. Incredible defensive effort there out of the players of Milan. Gabby on the inside ball, over the shoulder to the line. That's a beauty. VakifBank on their reception. Have a look at that, 65% positive. Milan just about half of that. So that's playing a big role right now. Milan unable to really put their setter in a good position. There's one, and that's what they can do. That's the difference. Great ball in. We haven't seen a whole lot of them. But when Oro has that ball right on her head, barely had to move. Look, one step She can find Herman. It's high, it's fast, it's just a complete contact. Barely a split second between leaving the setter's hands and the contact. Same thing for Vakif. Jansu saying, anything you can do, I can do better. Again, that first contact, the most important. Gabby puts Jansu in a position that she can run her offense the way she wants to. Put pressure on the blockers on the other side. Jansu drops it, gets an overpass. Quick to the middle again, 2 in a row, that'll do. That'll do nicely. Silla struggling to keep that on her side. That's almost a free point if you're VakifBank. Jansu, 27-year-old Turkish setter, goes for another strong serve, but Milan's in a better position. Defense is good. High to the right side goes Thompson, looking for touch. No touch given. Milan crawling back into it. It's a high, wide set, and Thompson having to take that step. She's a couple of meters from the antenna, and the blocker's in a really good position to force her out. Franti with a great platform. Well, that's unexpected, but Milan can cheer, and the crowd certainly will. Alessia Oro sprawling out for the defense, and 2-3 players turning around on Vakif's side and saying, who's got this? Nobody home. Overpass. Redke, thank you very much. Dana Redke, only 24 years old, out of University of Wisconsin. Was the best spiker of Champions League in 2023, and that's why. Seize her opportunities when they present themselves. Off the hands. Here comes Oro again, pops it back to Igonu, looks for the end line, she'll take it. Igonu just peppering the court on VakifBank's side, finding space. And that's enough to force a pressure timeout on VakifBank's side, 12-11.
Too much motion, Aisha. Right, you need the ball on your left. On your left and touch your back. Right. Let's go. One side out. And stay over the ball. Right. One side out. Again.
That's the first timeout called by VakifBank in this second set. The first time they've really felt any sort of pressure. Remember, they started with a 3-0 lead. Well, Milan have been chipping away at it point for point in the last couple. Great timeout called in the business. We like to say that's a coach's point. If you call the timeout with the intention of stressing out the server, with the intention of getting a free point back. Good timing, up by 2. Vakif gets the point. Alessia Oro trying to creep over the net. She's backcourt at the moment, so you see her running up to the net here. That ball is in the plane. It's already crossed the plane of the net, so she cannot reach over to grab it. Good call by the referee. Overpass, free opportunity. Vakif to swing, goes line. Thompson, all smiles, and rightfully so. Thompson as well, having come back from an injury. Great finish there. She had a really unfortunate injury during the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. Still managed to get that gold with her team. Redke making a case for herself. to make the Olympic squad coming up in Paris. Beautiful swing there past the blockers. One-on-one, uses it. Thompson goes cross, still in play. It's gonna be a free. Gabby pops it perfectly up. And that's what Vakif can do. The perfection in the pass is what makes that such a great play. Ends up being a free ball from Milan, and Gabby puts that right where Jansu can push back to Thompson and uses a bit of speed with it as well. So that's why you end up with a one-on-one attacking blocking situation. Great dig. Free ball again. Chance again for VakifBank on the outside. Franti finds Kazut, who's just subbed in for Silla. And the block is dominant. Shaka Ogbogu running the net with Thompson. It's USA love on love, hate on hate. An all USA affair there in the front courts, and VakifBank with the edge, 17-12 after the last time out.
They are working, as Buku say today. Ogbogu every time fly in this way. So or you try to hit the ball as soon as possible and work short cross, or you work high, because if you close in this position for sure they arrive. Ok? Ragazze, bisogna ripensare sempre le stesse cose. Ogni volta che aumentiamo il livello di battute e di ricezione nostro, rientriamo in partita. Solo quello è un momento di sacrificio della squadra.
Well, you caught all that in English. The Italian bit there was, this is the moment when we have passed well, when we've able to receive their tough serve, that's when we've been able to get ourselves back into the match. So let's get a little bit of team sacrifice going and figure out ways to do that. VakifBank have earned themselves a 17-12 lead after that last time out, which was 12-11. Huge run of points for them. Well, if anyone can help make the change, help get Milan back into this match, it's going to be Paula Egonu. There's the swing and the roll, covered by Retke. High ball again to Egonu with two blockers on her. Everyone in the gym, knowing that ball's going to her, still finds a way to score. That's the Paula Egonu that Milan need right now. Well, there's the curse of serving aggressive. There's always a high risk if you're looking for high reward. 18-13 in favor of the visitors. Down the line, Thompson looking for Bajima. She goes cross to the line. Jansu from the pipe. Gabby roundhouse on one blocker in front of her. Excellent serve. Really gets Milan out of system again. That's exactly what Gasperi was talking about. And you see two blockers there, leaving a lot of space in the middle for the Brazilian. Here comes Egonu. Here she comes. MVP of the Turkish Cup 2023. Best opposite and the MVP of Champions League last season. That's what she's capable of. Hitting basically at the antenna height against her former teammates. Free ball opportunity. Bajima slices it through, and again, that awkward timing that's actually really paying off for her. So it's not the perfect set for her. She's a little out of system here, but on the way down, so she catches the blockers in the same situation. So they're not able to finish that press. They've already sort of blocked and they're on the way back. Franti gets the ball back off the hands. Milan still in it. High ball behind. Egonu from the backcourt finds Gabby. Great pop up and a joust. Thompson makes some space for herself. Great little approach. Egonu using an off-speed shot. Here comes Franti again, swinging and recycling the ball again to the middle this time. Count it, says Jaka. And that's what you get when you're a hard-working middle. You don't see it, but Chaka's jumping every single play. There she's in the cover, but as she makes some space for herself to get involved in that next offensive action, that's what you got to do as a middle. It's not rewarding very often, but when it is, ooh, it looks good. Feels good too. Out of system is Milan. Free ball coming. This ball going back middle. No, pipe. Unexpected, but dug. Free ball from Maganu. Good opportunity here for Vakif to put it away. Back to Chaka, and yes, she will. Hard fought match from every player on VakifBank's side right now. The defense is looking good for Milan. They're having to keep themselves in play, but a free ball here, even if it's short to Thompson, the libero steps in to take it, so no hitters are out of the offense. And Jansu's got all options go. How about another ace? Ali Franti, are you kidding me? What did you have for breakfast this morning? Probably pancakes with a little extra protein, if I were to guess. Ali Franti doing some damage from the line. She is going for Bajima again. Kazot steps in. And that allows Bajima to step out and do what she does best. Attack that cross inside the block. Finding all sorts of angles. You see there, Kazot just taking up the entire court. They're just passing with two, so they can allow her to be free to just focus on the attack. Bajima has a strong serve too. Gabby to tip. There it is. Catches the timing. Got two blockers up, but they're just on the fall by the time she tickles that ball over them. VakifBank looking and feeling like themselves. Possibly for the first time in the match, 23-16. That's the kind of scoreline they're used to. Tip from Maganu. Ball still in play on Vakif's side, off the hands of the block, and Thompson continues the magic on the right side. Makes that space in the approach. Again, what I'm loving about VakifBank's side is it's a team effort, getting them here to set point, 24-16. Serve from Ogbogu. Again, targeting Bajima, even on the other side of the court. Works out well, get an out-of-system play, but Kazot, the French attacker, 26 years old, played in Chieri last season. She's really good at finding ways to score. Not always going to be the hardest driven ball, but she's great at attacking angles and just looking for that space in the block. Still set point Vakif. Gabby to tip. Aganu's on the floor, and so is the ball, and that will do nicely for the visitors. Huge second set to turn things around. Even from way out of system, and I gotta say that's probably the biggest difference between these two teams right now. There's the scoreline, 25-17. Think back on the middle of the set, it was 11-12, so Milan was right there with Vakif, and they started sprinting ahead. Well, two sets in the bag for VakifBank. Here's how that second one went down. Not much in the attacks. Again, 2 blocks for Istanbul, for VakifBank, as well as 3 aces to go with it. And the same thing, same problem. 7 errors, really plaguing Milan, those errors. Only 3 out of VakifBank. I think a couple of them from the service line, but they're really not giving up anything in terms of free points. Well, the last point you just saw, Gabby tipping from out of system, that's the biggest difference for me in the game that I'm watching right now, is Milan has been put under pressure in the service reception, and they haven't been able to find ways to score from out of system. Whereas VakifBank, they've been doing a great job of putting that ball right on Jansu's head. And then when they are out of system, just like that last tip from Gabby, they're either recycling the ball and going again, or they're looking for space on the floor, on the court of Milan, where they can get something going. So that is a perfect example there. Put that ball onto Paola Gonu, get her on the floor. Even if that ball had come up, you know that your blockers could then work on the other areas of the court. So many things to look out for when you're watching volleyball. I know, it's great, it's great. Anyway, the fans of Milan are loving it, even if their team has some coming back to do. The other great thing about being in Italy, they just love high-level volleyball. It's not always just about my team has to win. It's about we are watching the best of the best right now, and you and I, we get to watch from afar, but those fans in the stadium, they are getting the full experience of it. So if you ever get a chance, make sure you watch one of these live. Set number 3 underway. VakifBank now on the right. Serving was Jansu. And it is Milan on the left side, and Karabajima with the first points. Still from out of system, but does really well to swing aggressive. Bajima, who again played in VakifBank last season. Redke looks for Franti. It's a great ball in. And a good defense from Silla. There's the roll in the backcourt. Well, every middle blocker's dream was to be an outside or an opposite, perhaps. Well, that might not have been the moment. Free ball for Vakif. Well left, and Herman turning over her shoulder. That extreme rotation goes in at one direction and turns her entire body off that one leg. 2-point advantage. No block, no defense. Igonu gets it done. Keeps Milan neck and neck. Good work there by Otto as well. She's got a tight ball. Does well to keep it out of the net. Vakif goes for a second try. Right side, Thompson gets blocked. It hasn't happened much, but Herman is ready to let it go. A monster block in front of her home crowd. Makes that move early. You see her eyes and her footwork does not get drawn in to Gunesh in front. She is dialed in on Thompson. Out to Franti on the outside. Otto, another tight ball, uses Herman. She's heating up. Laura Herman, the 30-year-old Belgian middle blocker. Actually played last season in Zajibashi. Gets herself a nice wide attack. Just catches the fingertip of Franti. Well, we're in set number 3, and we still haven't seen that extreme confidence out of Igonu that we often see. Swings from the backcourt, gets picked up. Ball stays in play for Thompson, who goes inside. And then the block to follow it up. That is a wall if I have ever seen one. Bogu and Thompson together. Didn't have to move much. That ball's way out of system. They knew early they could just close it up with that inside on. That's that extreme finish from Bogu on that left wrist. Osman again. While she was the best spiker of the Turkish League in 2023, also has that Champions League silver medal from last year. Big swing through the middle, doesn't land. Silla makes something happen. Miriam Silla, 29 years old, has worn the captain's jersey of Italy for the last few years. Can come in absolutely clutch when needed. Thompson inside. The defense in a good position, but not able to get a second touch on it. VakifBank just really aren't allowing Milan to make a run of points. Some frustration on Milan's side, even though they're up by 1. Down by 2 sets, and seeing 12 points come off the arm of that woman right there. Love that from Oro, taking things into her own hands. Pretty much a perfect set. So if you're the blocker on the other side, you're expecting anything but Oro in that situation. And that is exactly the time to use it. Forgot about 2-time CEV Cup winner. Goes a little bit deep, gives another free point to Vakif. Again, think back on the last 2 sets. 11 errors in the first, 7 in the second. That was where Milan really let it slide. Can they really can't afford to give that many errors to a team that's not making errors in return? In fact, it's Ali Franti making aces more than anything. She's got 4 of them already. Not on that occasion. Swing from Thompson, easy recycle for Bogu to the outside goes Gabby with the push. Finds a way to get the blockers into the net. Things are tied up again. Calm and collected movement there by Ogbogu, just lifting that ball for her setter. Here we are at 7s. Look out for another ace from Franti. Where's she gonna go? Straight down the line to Silla. Ball's off the net. Swing and a great defense out of Ikac. But the block of Retke in response. MVP in the best middle of the NCAA in 2022. Great pickup there. But Franti into 3 blockers. Absolutely nowhere to go. Otto gets a joust at the net and a great defense out of the setter. Lugano is blocked. Doug. Gabby finds a slice. VakifBank looking really relaxed and confident. Excellent pickup, but it's just not enough. Even better out of the libero on VakifBank's side, and they allow that second opportunity to run that ball again. Bogu goes middle back to Bajima. Silla immediately saying no need for a challenge. That ball was not touched. It's high and wide. Doesn't want to waste any very valuable challenges that might come in clutch towards the end of this set. Brenda Castillo focused. Bajima, who's been the target, continues to be. Silla takes that one from her. Tip and a stabbing defense out of Gabby. Great change up from Igonu. We see hard-driven balls 9 times out of 10 out of the arm of Igonu, but just slows it down, realizes there's only 1 blocker in front of her. Gabby turning around, does not trust in her teammates to be there for her. Ball back to Thompson. Quick, rapid arm. Thompson, one of the most fun players to watch as well. Always looks like she's having fun. It's dead serious in the action. Swings lethal, and then a big smile for her team. Love that. Best way to play. Tough serve to Castillo, who handles that well. Egonu is the go-to. High and wide, plenty of width to get that ball to the antenna. Watch it from this angle, best place to see it. You see how wide that ball dies, basically going outside the antenna, so Egonu can cut it off just at the split second in the space between the blockers and the antenna. Perfection. Going blow for blow, VakifBank to respond. Gabby's been heating up in the last few minutes as well, getting some speed from her setter, and that's what beats the blockers. So whereas Egonu got that high, wide ball, Gabby gets the speed and it absolutely just shot out to her. So there's only 1.5 block. Point for point. Bajema picking up some of the offensive slack on Milan's side. I think I just spotted Rock Macic in the crowd there. Anyone who's a big men's volleyball fan might know who I'm talking about. Off the hands. Oh, what a dig, but it's not coming back. Huge one from Egonu. She is making it tougher and tougher. Good movement there from the libero. Just low, slow, hangs in the spot. But again, Egonu finding that sharp line shot with all her power. There's the roll from Egonu again. That one's staying alive. Tight from Franti. Still in play, and Herman defying gravity in the air. Well, it goes a little slower than she's expecting. She's pretty much in the air before the ball is even set. Has to just wait and hang. Timeout called for Vakif.
Just we try to be more precise in service. If you say we need to serve 5. If you see Castillo too much inside, you can go 1. Okay? Just a little more precise there. Okay? Good position, side out. In high ball, you're doing good. You can try also this in high ball. Couple times. Okay? One side out, then we go. Okay? Enter strong there. 1.
The crowd is loving it. Their team is back in good form and ready to fight for this third set. It's do or die for the Milan side right now. They are in first position, but if they lose this, they might give that up. And again, what's at stake? Well, first position in every pool goes automatically to the next round, and then the 3 top second position will also advance. So you don't want to leave it up to fate. And that's the position that VakifBank's in right now. Milan is in the first position. They're trying to overtake it with a win here. A serve, Bajema off the tape. All right, Bajema has been a huge contribution to the team so far. MVP of the Polish Cup in 2022. Turn from Ogbogu goes too much, just misses the line, and Milan are cruising. An excellent contact. But it's Bajema at the line again at 16-12. And a stuff block to put a pin in it. Excellent pressure from the service line, and Thompson, who's been pretty much unstoppable, finds the arms of Miriam Silla, who was the best outside of the world champs in 2022. Her team got bronze there. Great response from Franti. Now, Franti hasn't been one of the protagonists of the offense, but she's certainly been doing well when needed, when called on. Quick, fast set there. Gets to beat the block with speed. Thompson goes line again. Herman sneaks it underneath. I've been loving this connection as well. Oro and Herman finding something new, adding in this third set that element of the middle attack that really just wasn't there in the first few sets. There's that wide stance. Herman leaving early, giving herself lots of space to work with. Couple of changes on court. Sonia Candy into the mix in the middle. Franti again with a big swing. Sarah Van Allen as well in there for the set. That change, that double sub. And then the opposite. Franti again finds Kazut. She's always stable in the reception. Great defense. Communication error, free ball sent. Swing and a pickup. And the lefty Alexia Karatasu, the 20-year-old opposites, in on that double sub. Makes a good move there out, then has so much space to work with. No one expecting that ball to go back to her. Waits till it gets past Silla's arm before she snaps on it. Not the highest swing, but definitely precise. Otto back to Agonu, the tip. Stays in play, and it's deep, just wide. Or was it? Well, the ball's called in. I think we're going to have a challenge out of VakifBank. Here's the pickup. Watch it again in real time. Oh, that is close. That might have clipped the line by a hair. But we will have a chance to see. First challenge of the set by VakifBank. We saw a couple of challenges in the first set by Milan. I believe this is the first challenge by Vakif. Well, Milan. Oh, couldn't be closer. Could not be closer, but you can see a little sliver of space. A little bit of court there between the white line and the ball. So unlucky for Milan. Great challenge by Giovanni Guidetti. We'll keep that one in the bag. And 2-point differential between the teams. Franti, who's been dominant from the service line. And again, lines up her blockers. Gabby and Chiaka low and tight. As that ball's in a pretty good place there for Oro. Only a couple of steps, but she's been feeding up Agonu. That ball dying so far inside. Timeout called.
Our best spy. So don't forget to work, ti ripartirà stretta su di lei, sulla perfetta. Tanto è sempre lì piantata. Tu vai in anticipo, qualsiasi situazione di positiva c'è. Se c'è una situazione negativa, sta battendo bene sulla linga esterna adesso. Teniamola un pochino morbida, attenzione alle coperture. Gabi all'ultimo ti si butta, soprattutto se è l'esclamativo.
Coach Gaspari reminding his players to go a little bit earlier on the block, especially there, Oro on the outside, saying, hey, you can just release to the outside. I want you face to face with Gabby. Pay attention to her. If she grabs the ball with two hands, you know she's going to push it. VakifBank creeping back in it. Another good serve from Franti. Goes to perfection, though, and Milan have found themselves here in the third set. Not even a single step for Oro to move. She's able to fire that into the wheelhouse of her outside hitter, and it's 19-17 here in the business end of the set. Franti with a tight ball. Ogbogu gets one through. Free ball coming back. Well handled. And a better set, a little bit higher. And that is exactly what one of the most elite athletic middles in the world needs. Higher, faster. First one had to handle it. A little bit of a wheelhouse, like a half moon. Comes right back in and she can swing it the other way. Love to see that as well. Middle blockers, pay attention. Swing one way the first time. Get another chance, try going the other way, because chances are the blockers will dive in the same direction that you just swung a moment ago. Idilnaz Baskan in for the serve, 24-year-old Turkish outside hitter. In her first season in VakifBank, actually just came up to the first league in Turkey just last year. Doesn't pay off in that occasion. Her first opportunity on court, 20-18, Milan up by 2. Need to win this third set if they want to stay alive in the match. Another heavy swing from Karutasu. She's been with VakifBank since last season. Swings deep, swings wide, kind of painting the line there, in between the line and the defender. Finding a way. Make it really difficult on the defenders. Thompson back in. No setter on court for Vakif. Doesn't matter. Big swing out of Candy. We haven't seen a whole lot of her, but she's actually one of the better blockers for her team. This time on the offense, the 30-year-old Italian. Been with Milan since 2021. Looks for the end line, just long. Again, taking those risks. Both teams have been risky from the end line. Sometimes it's paying off. Sometimes it's out by just a hair, but coaches won't be too upset with that. Castillo to step in. Swing and a dig. Excellent from VakifBank. Chance to tie it up, and they do. Ali Franti on the outside, bringing the heat. Patience paying off as she makes a really wide approach there. Comes full guns blazing. I played with Ali back in the day in France. I can tell you, she loves a heavy swing. She will go for it all day long. Love that about her. Someone else who loves a heavy swing, how about that? Paola Egonu doesn't take no for an answer. I always wonder what the conversations are like between Egonu and Oro, or any setter that she has. Imagine just going up to her and saying, set me this ball. Just set me the ball. Aggressive serve, but it's not enough. Franti swings, defense is good. Egonu again going hard into the corner, finds Jansu in the defense. Her former setter, now on the receiving end of the heat. That's enough for a VakifBank timeout, 23-21.
Lie down, okay? Communication is good, was a good ball, you can go again, okay? Or to be called Kosun, you can show a little bit this, call Kosun. Show a little bit that, and you can play Kosun or 4. Because as soon as you do that, you take it go before. Alright, let's go! Okay!
Guidetti recognizing that the blockers on Milan's side are reading Jansu really well. So he's saying, hey, give them a little something extra to look at. If you give them a little bit of a back bend, or you make it look like you're going one direction, just try and sell it a little bit more. You do that back bend, and then you can fling it out to zone 4, because they're expecting that ball to go to Thompson. She's been one of the top scorers so far. Certainly the blockers are keying in on her. Ball's over. Jansu cannot jump. She's backcourt, but you know who can. Laura Herman in the front court, offensive as ever. She has stepped it up a notch. It's been an impressive show from the front court from Herman. And it is set point Milan. VakifBank breathing another breath as they use their middle, showing off the wealth of riches. Gunesh, just a little jump set. That push, still set point for Milan. Ball's good, in play. Herman again to finish it off. How about that? Get your middles going when you need them. And when do you need them? Well, set point. Herman all smiles because she almost got hit by the ball as it comes back off the block there. And she runs out of the way, doesn't know where it is, and almost lets it hit her. Well, that would have been one for the books. Milan can cheer, and you know they're going to all match long. They don't care the score, but they are happy to see their team back in the mix. There's the score line, 25-22. That's how that third set went down. Milan finally getting themselves a foothold. Well, it was pretty much neck and neck there at the beginning, 7-7, 13-11. Just squeezing it out at the end. Still heavy on the errors, 9-3, but this time the blocks and the aces all in favor of Milan, as well as the attacks. That was something that was just neither here nor there for either team, but 18-11, huge step up in that category for Milan. Well, we've seen a little bit of everything from both of these two teams so far, but we knew deep down in our heart of hearts, this was not going to be a quick match, neither one way or the other. VakifBank pulling out those first two sets in style, but never count out Milan, and more importantly, never count out Paola Igonu. There's a look at the stat scores from the first couple of sets, 25-20 and 17 was that second. I mean, that was a dominant performance by VakifBank, but Milan have not rolled over. They have not given up. They have not gone to sleep. They're not going to get a coffee down the street. They are ready to play. So I hope that you, wherever you are ready to watch and cheer on your favorite team, because this is why we love this sport. If you know the outcome before it even starts, what's the fun? Igonu, still plenty left up her sleeve. She's one of those players that just heats up as she goes, and you get the feeling that she has plenty left in the tank. She was much more present there in the third set than we've seen her all match long. Might she have a little more in the serve this time? 4 aces last time out. None so far as of yet. Yet being the key word. Here we go then. Set number 4. Milan back on the right side in the pink. Vakif still on the black jersey in the left side this time. And Gabby taking the first swing. She thinks there might have been a touch. Well, it looks like Vakif has gotten the first point. And again, we've got a challenge. This is deja vu from set number 1. If you remember, Milan did get that point after challenging. So we have another challenge here in the beginning. Looking for a touch. Oh, straight through the arms. So no touch. And the point will be reversed back to Milan's side. Silla still on the line. Looks for Franchi. They're out of system. Thompson to tip. Bump set out to Bajema, who has to recycle that ball really tight underneath the net. And a net touch violation called on the blockers of VakifBank. So 2 points in a row going the way of Milan's side. That's a smart play there as well by Bajema to keep things going and recycle, gives her team another chance, and you see that net moving just a little bit, just enough. Thompson, two-handed throw. There's the tip again. Another opportunity, slowing it down. VakifBank going higher, wider. Thompson underneath. A scramble play from Milan, but Thompson, well, she's been having a lot of success so far on that right side, so flinging that ball high to her. Catches it just inside on Igonu at the knees, almost standing up. Gabby, 9 points in attack, only at 30%. Certainly not her best numbers she's ever had. But again, one of those players with enough experience with the national team, certainly not to be counted out. Gabby with an Olympic silver medal from 2021. She was the best receiver of the Champions League in 2023. Let's see what she has against Sonia Candy's serve. No need. Ball wide again. Errors creeping in already on Milan's side. That was something they've struggled with in the last couple of sets. Again, if you're a high-level player, the important thing is how do you respond? Great swing off the block goes Bajema. Thompson swinging into hands again. Oh, and it's Igonu immediately taking that run. A cheeky, wry smile on the face of one of the best opposites in the world, because she knew how risky that swing was. 17 points for the opposite. One block as well. Can we see an ace serve here soon? There's the answer for me, for all of us. Gaspari taking it all in. The drop from Thompson. Bajema responding, saying, force me to take it short. You can have this. I like that idea. Gets Bajema on her knees, but Oro says she's up, sees that early. The blockers on the other side not paying much more attention because thinking she's out of the offense. Gabby with a great ball in. Cut from Ogbogu. Slice and dice past the blockers to the sidelines. How's the angle on that? Just not the hardest driven. Finding some speed with the cut. Again, Milan must win this set. Outside to Silla. Was there a touch on the block? Silla says yes. And the referees agree, a 2-point lead. From the bump set, no less. Herman. one of the protagonists of set number 3. There's the big swing, stays in play, great defense. And Silla on the outside, nearly trampling her setter after getting it exactly where she wanted. Starts with the defense from Bajima, and it's popped up high and inside. And Silla cannot control her excitement. Surely Oro knows by now. Those two have played together long enough. Both important parts of the Italian national team and of this blocking lineup. Silla chest bumping her team. She is in a mood, and rightfully so. Low and tight, and the timing just dominant. There was nowhere for Thompson to go but straight back down into the floor. Gabby from off the net. Igonu dug again, just sitting in that line is eye catch. And that is how this team is diffusing Igonu. She's tried to hit that line a couple of times, and here's the defense, just popped right up from eye catch. And then it's Gabby, a little off her rocker, a little sideways swing, but still able to make something happen from that out of system play. Didn't have to be perfect. That's the key here for VakifBank from what we've seen in the first 2 sets. They're making something out of nothing. Easy pickup for Thompson. Franti into a big block, and Milan again to celebrate. Silla, a big part of it. 2, 3, 4 points in a row have been credited to Silla. She comes throwing those hands in with Candy. Nine 5 for Milan. 9 blocks to 7 as well. They are stepping it up at the net. Candy, a big part of it. Mentioned Sonia Candy in the opener as one of the big contributors in the block in the Italian domestic league. It's the first time we're seeing her get a big chunk of it in the Champions.
When there is a bad reception, when they receive bad, we are bad in block. When they receive good, we are bad in block. Hammerhead, we cannot drop like this. The pipe with 3 blocks. I can attack like the pipe with 1 block. The pipe with a block, I attack like this. The pipe with 3 blocks, they should not be. I will attack long. Hide, hide.
Another thing I love to do is watch the expression of the coaches as it shifts. It's always a roller coaster of emotion throughout the matches, but Giovanni Guidetti, known for his passion, and he steps it up in terms of his coaching level. When his team needs it, he's going to add that enthusiasm. You'll see him getting really heated in the timeouts, always respectfully, but he's reminding Franti there specifically on that pipe, if there's 3 blockers up, that's the time to hit long and deep. If you see a wide open net, you can swing down. Let's see if the enthusiasm rubs off on his team. The block of Milan continues. Silla with a little happy dance there in the timeout, or in the huddle. I mean, 2 in a row, that's gotta feel good. She is on a mission for her team. Substitution in the setting role. Van Aylen into it, trying to find Gabby on that instance, doesn't go. And it is a 12-5 lead. Milan have hit their stride. Another substitution for VakifBank. Bianca Busa, 29-year-old Serbian outside hitter. Played in PTT Sport last season in Turkey, now in for Gabby. Trying to make something happen on VakifBank's side. High swing, that's Doug. Castillo sitting in that angle. Defense good from Busa, and the block is still working magic at the net. VakifBank on the right side has not found a way past Silla and Candy for the last few points in a row. Great movement there, Candy. A little late, but throwing those arms. And it's the inside arm that makes the difference, just straight over where she is, cutting off the blocking direction. Substitution again, doesn't work though. Another ace serve, and this time it's for Milan. Alessia Oro. Flat, low, tight, two players in the right place, but a miscommunication means Milan gets a freebie and another timeout.
We need to attack Little because we wait, and we see the ball, last step, and we go Little that he said is low, 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 and low. Hide, let's go.
Have a look at those numbers on your screen. It was 9-5, and Milan going the last 5 points in a row. The last timeout called it 10-5. It's been an all Milan affair since that timeout. VakifBank now out of timeouts in this set. Alessia Oro from the line. Same flat, deep serve, goes just long with no touch. Aggressive swing on the outside. Silla just long. Keeps the opportunities coming for VakifBank. Sarah Van Allen from that serve. Tough onto Silla, deep on her side. She had to kind of go over her shoulder there to keep it in play. Gets it back and goes deep past the blockers. Same serve. Same swing. This time, different results. Silla unleashing on the opportunity. Blockers didn't think that ball was going back to her. You see there, Gunesh taking a step with the middle, take a little jump step as well. Tried to protect against Candy, leaving open some space for Silla. 15-7 lead. Another serve on Franti. Well. Alexia Karatasu. She was the best scorer of the Turkish league in 2022. To 8. High pressure on VakifBank. Busa with the tough serve. Swing from Igonu goes deep off the hands. And again, you just feel this is starting to heat up. What I like about the play on Milan's side right now, yes, that swing comes off Igonu, but we've seen a few different players stepping up their level, from Herman to Bajama to Silla, everyone contributing on Milan's side. Great pickup from the middle blocker. Bajama looking high and deep, clever swing for the American. Part of the USA Volleyball Cup gold medal team with USA in 2022. Love that pickup from Candy. It always counts for double, in my opinion, if a middle makes a difference. But she's allowing her team to run again. To 9. VakifBank trying to play catch up. Ball still in play. High bump set from Gunesh. Goes again. On the right side, off the hands of the blockers. Alexia Karatasu becoming one of the protagonists here in this fourth set. changes it up as well. You see her going sharp cross the first time, gets that second ball, brings it back down the line towards the blocker's hands. Great change up in speed. Herman. We've seen her run a few slides behind, not so much in front of the setter. Just gets up early, makes herself available. It's a little high, it's a little slow. So instead of trying to swing into the block, just tips it over. Clever, clean. Another good one out of Karatasu. Excellent push and some width and speed from the setter. Fresh legs on court, Van Alen. Tough serve, but handled well from Milan. Block is in place. This time it's Van Alen and Ogbogu together. Great pickup from Silla, but it's not enough as the blockers then pretty much know where the ball is going. Read that situation. Clean. Milan has 12 blocks. VakifBank picking it up with 8. I saw Alessia Oro creeping over to chat with the referee. Not sure what the discussion was about. But on we go. Milan up by 7 points. Gets the overpass as well in the joust. Vakif into the corner off the whip of an arm of Ali Franti. Best outside of the Polish Cup in 2020. There's the joust. Doesn't fall though. Good work by the setter to keep that in play and go again. VakifBank playing catch up, down by 6. Franti looks for the deep corner. 4 aces in the first half of this match. Couldn't find it that time. Meanwhile, there's been a substitution on Milan's side. Kazot back in the mix as well. Adhuljak Malual, the 23-year-old Italian opposite. He played at University of Texas in 2021. That team also just recently won the NCAA tournament. She'll be happy about that. In for the substitution to serve. But not for long. Buse closes it down. Great push from the Dutch setter as well. A lot of width there, but she had to make up some court. 20-14. Milan in the driver's seat on reception. Silla with the overpass. Easy pickup for Milan. VakifBank don't capitalize on it. Back to the outside again. The roll just over the blockers and the defense creeping up short. And Busa sees it. There's a good defensive play out of Milan, but the opportunity escapes them. Timeout.
Vorrei dare un po' di spinta, solo per quello. Basta, tecnicamente sei giusta. Ragazzi, c'è un poco in difesa. Ok, non ci dimentichiamo questa cosa qua. Poli, se c'hai la palla buona, c'è il caso che ti va a pallonetto. Per il resto è tutto libero, sulla palla alta rimane lunga. Ricordiamocelo, ok? Sul palleggiatore miri, non abbassare il colpo se cercherai la parallela perché è molto ordinato davanti. Ok? Nient'altro, se c'è la transizione loro, fai questo su Karutasu.
Well, if you think I remembered everything Gasperi just said there, you are mistaken. The best part of that speech was you'd say one thing and then say, that's the only thing. Oh, but also this. But that's the only thing. He'll say one more thing. But that's the only thing. There were a lot of things. Moving on. He's happy with the way they're playing. That's the main thing. Up by 5. Great ball in from Kazot. And it's Otto with a little kiss of death to the team on the other side of the net. Otto, certainly a fan favorite as terms of players go. And one of the best setters in the Italian game. 3 points already, not as an attacker. Another tough serve leads to a tough block. Candy running the show in the front court. One of the best blockers for her team. Just low and tight, doesn't have to go anywhere. Sees it, goes straight over with the arms. Tough serve, setters moving. VakifBank on the outside, swing and a dig. Silla, confident, misses the hands. She's been having some success cross court, waiting for the block to move. There's the defensive run, and it's a wide set. She's got all her options open. The young setter. To serve, Candy to respond. Just making herself available, and it's a little bit of a push from the setter, so she's making Gunesh on the other side have a decision. She's got to decide, do I follow the middle blocker or do I release? Franti popping the serve up. Cross court swing out of Karutasu. Have a look at that again. Some confusion, some discussion. To me, that's out. Was there maybe a touch? I don't think so. Looks like the blockers were a split second late. Brings up set point Milan. Franti again targeted by Silla. The swing on the outside lands, middle of the court. Kabusa making some changes for her team. Her brother Boris plays in China. He might be watching somewhere in the world, rooting on his sister. To serve. Down by 7 set points. Didn't need them, or was that ball called out of bounds? I think it was. Igonu with a hefty swing. Silla's on the floor, it's out of system. Set from the backcourt libero. But that tricky antenna getting in the way. Set point again. That'll do for Milan in their home gym. Taking the fourth set by a huge margin. Well, if you know anything about these two teams, you could have predicted we were going to 5. There are the score lines for the first two. They went VakifBank's way, 25-20, 25-17. The next two, 25-22 and 25-18 for Milan. So almost identical in terms of dominance, but that momentum flip-flopping back and forth. Let's have a look at this set. Even Stevens in the attacks. Look at the blocks. Wow. 6 blocks for Milan. And also, one of the big differences here, the errors. For the first time in this match, there are more errors on VakifBank's side. So that number 8 there at the bottom on Milan's side, those are the points that were given to them for free, essentially, by Milan. 8 of them to 7. If you remember back in set number 1, Milan gave up 11, they then gave up 7, but they are finally in the green in terms of errors. set number 4 was a blocking masterclass, and there's the result. 25-18 in that last set. Milan turning it on, starting with some aggressive serving, and that's what VakifBank was doing to them in the first couple of sets, really taking them out of their game from that first contact at the end line. Difference this time, Milan's now putting the pressure on VakifBank, doing it from the service line and backing it up in the blocks. Seen a huge difference there. Igonu stepping up her game as well. She's always a difference maker, no matter what team she's on, what jersey she's wearing, what nationality she's representing, whether it's national team, club team. She is a difference maker, and you've seen it playing out here tonight. Alessia Oro, well, she told us before the match it was going to be balanced, it was going to be exciting. They're going to try and put something different on the court compared to that first match, which went Milan's way 3-0 in Istanbul. So already she knew they were going to have to fight. Sonia Candy, difference maker, 4 blocks and 6 points so far, having made that substitution. I believe it was in the third set we saw her for the first time. She has been golden for Milan. 5th set underway. VakifBank on the left side, Milan on the right. Gabby with the first serve and the first dig. All comes down to this. Big swing, big block, deja vu as Candy and Bajima make their presence known. American on American crime. These two, the best of friends on the national team. But that all gets put aside when it's the club season. Candy going for a jump swing. Oh, great stabbing defense. Results in a free ball for VakifBank. How do they handle it? Thompson goes for the swing deep cross. Oro underneath that defense as well. Going for it on the outside. High ball. Free ball this time for Milan. Goes to Silla. Back to Igonu. Quick, and the block is quicker. A little bit of luck and a little bit of skill. And smiles all around because Igonu knows that could have been her point to have. It swings off the hands of Gunesh and surprises the entire stadium by landing just inside the backcourt. That's her 4th block of the match. We haven't seen her as involved in the offense as much as we might like, or I might like, because I'm a middle blocker myself. Always love to see it, but Milan have the advantage there in the blocks, 14-9 so far. VakifBank trying to step it up. The throw into the corner. Igonu gets a little bit of revenge on Gabby. Great defense that first time. And watching that Gunesh comes creeping up. Normally you'd want that middle back to kind of rotate there to the left. Left wide open instead. Still no aces for Miss Igonu. Two points apiece. Thompson goes line on Bajima. Had some success there earlier, not this time. Milan out of the option immediately. Bajima handles herself, and then it's Igonu coming sneaking in, because also have a look at the middle blocker, pulling her outside blocker. A little bit of space there opens up. Bajima was the best outside of the Polish league a couple of years ago. Comes Franti, also experience playing in a few different leagues. Finds herself in Turkey after playing in Italy, Poland, France. Akbagu with a quick rip behind. Akbagu, the 28-year-old American middle blocker, been with Vakif since 2021. Before that is Zajibashi Conigliano. Emik Police in Poland, graduated as well from University of Texas. Much like Adjuljak Malual on the other side. Well, Herman has been impressive. Up and open and ready to swing. Catches that just a little bit long. Perhaps missing that tiny little snap at the end. 5-3 advantage now. VakifBank pulls out by 2 points. Remember, this fifth set goes only to 15. Good serve, doesn't get the ace, but very close. Gets the tip and a scramble. High on the outside to Gabby, who swings. Castillo, perfection from the tomahawk. Somehow. Well, talk about precision and control from your libero. Doesn't even need her platform. Bam, tomahawk, puts it on Oro's head, and the conversion is perfection. Silla flying high off the block. And a celebration to boot. Franti gets the ball in. Here comes the pipe from Thompson. That's Doug. Egonu finds herself in the defense. Another excellent pickup. Defense riding high. Here comes Silla one more time into the block, and VakifBank are relentless. Well, it was Milan's blocking show in the last set. VakifBank taking a page out of their book. Starts with a high swing there from Ogbogu, and then gets in position to close up to Jansu, who gets a big part of that block. 3 of them now belong to the American gold medalist. Back to serve. Flat to Silla. Excellent serve. Results in a good defense on Vakif's side. Gabby with the roundhouse swing, looking for a touch. Blockers in place. Says to her setter, nope, that's perfect. Don't change anything. That's all me. And that's what you love about a player like Gabby. Even when making a mistake, looks to her setter and says, I've got the next one. You did what you needed to do. Great teamwork results in great team. Speaking of great teams and great blocks, Gaspari has lined up some of the best in Italy. Silla is having a moment right now against Thompson. They've been going back and forth all match long. Momentum has shifted in her favor. Pressure running high. The fans continue chanting. The drums are ever present. Natsu back to Bajima. Get themselves a high swing from Silla. And she gets it done. She's almost better from out of system than in system. She has an unorthodox way of swinging. Super athletic player. Gets herself a lot of space. You see she comes firing in that second step. Huge amount of distance covered. Almost throws off the blockers as to where they should line up. Oro picking up tips. Egonu finds the net, and VakifBank find the advantage. 8-7, that's the change of ends. Neither team has really pulled ahead in this fifth set. It's all going to come down to these last few points. For Milan, well, they already have the top position in the pool. They're likely to keep it, even if VakifBank wins this one, because now we're in a 5-set situation. They won the first one in 3, which means they got all 3 points. now that we're in a 5-set situation, we've already split. Each team has 1 point so far in this match. And the winner will end up with 2 points. So it's unlikely that VakifBank can overtake Milan in the first position, but again, they need to get as close as possible to that second spot if they're going to want to have a chance of advancing out of this group stage. Milan going back to Iganu, the pancake still in play. Milan to the outside, off hands goes Bajima. Thank you very much, she says. Alessia Oro gave that first one, and I've got to give some more credit here to Aicha Aykaç. She has been really impressive in that libero position, picking up really hard driven balls down the line and also in position for that pancake. Excellent block, it's a stuff. Milan are riding a high, continuing that momentum from the 4th set in the block, and it's a timeout.
I'm waiting to make double change. So what I have to do? You give ball to Jordan, 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 until he score one. Hey, again, you don't see this thing. Per Dio.
Feels a little bit disjointed there. The image we're looking at and the sound we're hearing coming from two different things. I think Guidetti pulling Jansu and Gabi off to the side, trying to get them to see what he's seeing in terms of the block. Great ball. Served in. Franti to have a swing. It goes long. She's avoiding the block, but in doing so, avoiding the court. And Milan are looking good. Gets Gabi moving there, taking that short ball, and it's out of system. Jansu having to send that up with a bump set. Franti receiving that one this time, turns it on in the swing and goes aggressive against Herman. Love that second set from Jansu, trusts Ali Franti. She's also held the block with Gunesh in front. That split second of timing, allowing Franti to get something going. VakifBank now just down by one. Off the block, Jansu again, back to Franti again. Doesn't fall. The blocker's in a good position, stays in play. Igonu on the right side, and the blockers have found a little something extra. Ogbogu and Franti are frustrating Igonu as the tables turn once again. Bump set means easy pickings for the American duo. Tied up at tens. Silla receives. Igonu tips. Back to Thompson with a free swing. And she finds the floor off the blockers. Well, just moments ago, VakifBank were down by two. They're now up by one. And you know what that means. Big block, big timeout.
Now the energy is less, so we have to help each other, especially in the long rally. What does it mean? Every time one shot for cover, especially in long rally. Remember, 1, 2, 3. In transition, they are waiting for us and working really good against 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So if you close, it's really hard to cover, but if you work hard, we have all the team back to you.
I always wonder how coaches keep their cool in these high pressure situations. As a player, you're out there. You can make a change. You can take the ball into your own hands, essentially. But as a coach, man, I just couldn't do it. Too much pressure, not enough control. To the outside. Pressure is exactly what these players feed on, the highest level of international volleyball. Big swing from Bajima down the line, targeting that little bit of space between the blocker's hands and the line. Egonu looking for her first ace, doesn't get it again. That's one part of her game that's been missing today. Can't help but smile. That makes me think, you know, it's still in there somewhere. It might be coming out later. But there's only a couple of points left in this set. Bajima blocked, recycled. Going again off of the hands. Thompson out of the attack. Franti coming in firing. Block is good and going again. And off the hands and out of bounds. Alexia Karatasu. Well, she's stepping in there. No blockers in play, so an excellent rotation there. Using Aicha Aikac as their setter, the libero, bump setting everything. Still finding a way to get her players to score. Excellent point right there, a break point for VakifBank. Well, we've got a challenge for net touch. If you know anything about volleyball, you probably know that was going to be clutching at straws. In fact, Milan did get that net touch. So VakifBank will be keeping the points, 13-11. High pressure. Tough serve. Bajima finds Thompson in the defense and gets 1 point to close the gap on the outside. Silla coming in strong with that first contact. Now this finished substitution. Sarah Van Alen in the mix. Franti down the line. Well, she's been going cross-court deep all day long. The blockers line up accordingly. And then watch this final finish. Catches that ball over her shoulder and just paints that corner. VakifBank now have match point at 14-12. Franti looks for Silla. It's tight. Bump set opportunity for VakifBank to finish it off here on the outside. Gabby will get it done, and they have done it. Excellent finish, Gabby, with some speed. It's a one-on-one, and VakifBank can breathe again. They will sleep a little bit better tonight. What a match between these two teams. We knew it was going 5. We always knew this would be one for the books. VakifBank coming in strong in the first 2 sets. Milan responding accordingly with a blocking masterclass. Have a look at those. The first 2 sets going VakifBank's way. The second 2 going Milan's way. And eventually a 15-12 finish. VakifBank get it done. Well, VakifBank had to come here with one thing in mind, and they certainly did. Win this match at all costs. Look at the scorelines, though. Look at the stats. Milan with 16 blocks to 11. They were not making it easy by any means on VakifBank. Gave up a few too many errors there, but it really just came down to that 5th set. Who came firing out of the gate? And look back on it. It was 10-8. Milan had the advantage. They carried that momentum, that excellent play that they had in sets 3 and 4 into the beginning of that 5th set. But VakifBank are not a team to count out ever. Lesson learned. We come firing back in 11-10, 14-12, and then get it done in the end. Well, Milan can be happy with their performance. Certainly had some super blocking, good serving as well. But VakifBank just digging that little bit deeper at the end. They knew what was on the line for them. If they had lost this set, they could have potentially not made it to the next round of Champions League. I mean, it's actually still up in the air. If they end up second in the pool, which is likely to happen based on the numbers, they have to be one of the top 3 second-ranked teams. Milan likely to go through, if I've done my math correctly, with this loss essentially, but they do get 1 point from it because we went to 5 sets. They should end up at the top of the pool and advance to the next round of Champions League. Excellent performance. 2 incredible teams putting on a display of wealth in all areas. Well, hopefully we'll get a chance to chat to one of these players. Looks like Gabby is getting the nod for MVP. Rightfully so. Reception on point. Also getting involved heavily in the offense. 11 points, 1 block. And she is a core value of the VakifBank side. Keeps the stability. Also a great teammate as well. Huge applause for Milan from their home crowd as they had a fantastic match today against VakifBank.
Congratulations for the MVP prizes of tonight. Such a great game.
Incredible game. It was really tough, and we expected that. We know that it's not easy to play here in Monza. The gym was completely full. We know the power that this team have, but the most important day for me was the spirit of the team. We started 2-0 and then 2-2, and we keep believing in tie break. We could see the energy was a little bit down, but then we're like, okay, it's time to push, it's time to give everything, and this is what the most important. This is the team fight, the team spirit, and this is what we need for the rest of the Champions League.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Excellent interview from Gabby there. What I loved about that, 79% positive reception. So sometimes we only look at the blocks, the kills, but the aces, but that was great by her. Well, there is the final standings of the pool. 5 wins and 1 loss for each of those 2 top teams. But as you can see, Milan on those points on the right side in the yellow, 16 for Milan, 14 for VakifBank. So if they're lucky, they will be one of the top 3 closest finishers. Well, be sure to tune in to the next rounds. But from now, from all of us at the CEV Champions League, thanks so much for watching. I'm Key Michael. We'll catch you on the next one.